3, 4.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 12 o'clock edition of Pagan Day of Prayer. Joining me now is Donna Donavon of Appalachian Pagan Ministry. It's good to see you, hon.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Oh,
I was going to go on here and go up lot and share your live on TikTok, but I can't find it now. Sorry, oops. How are you?
all right. I am trying to do a banner that has your website on it so they can find you.
Yay. Yay.
So what are we doing today?
Well, I was going to do the blood prayer, which is what we do at the end of the Heilvegr. The Heilvegr is a 9-step recovery program based on the 9 noble virtues that we do with the heathens, a heathen population. I do a workshop called the 12 Steps Without the God Part at various festivals and events that talk the different quote-unquote step programs for various non-Abrahamic faiths. The Heilvegr is one that I utilize, that I work with the heathen population. And so we do that at 2 local recovery facilities here in Parkersburg, West Virginia. I do it online on Monday nights. And it's a growing movement. There's several other programs out there like this. The Heilvegr is one I am personally use and like. And so the blood prayer is what we say at the end of every meeting, and that's the prayer I was going to do today. Do we do that now, or are you going to wait till we're done talking? Or
well, we can talk a little bit. I actually have a question.
Yes,
so what different types are out there? So I'm coming to you, and I got a specific question because okay. I consider myself Norse because Odin is my papa. He claimed me. I am his. Nothing I can do about it, and my ancestry does come from there. But I don't really know a whole lot about it. So what would be, do you have something that I could get started with?
Actually we do. So the course that I use and in the prisons that we work with, I actually teach, I work with the heathen population. I have another volunteer that works with our Wiccan people. I have another volunteer that does the Celtic paganism, another one that does Satanic and Luciferianism, and another one who does the Native Nations spirituality. I actually have, I tell people all the time, if you are actually interested in this path, I'll give you 4 main books, or actually 5 really. The Poetic Edda, the Prose Edda, Gods and Myths, Teutonic Religions, and the Sagas of the Icelanders. And they're hard to read. I'm not going to lie. They're hard to read. It's like reading the Old Testament. But it's worth it. That's the basic, because every other book out there that you find is going to be opinions that others have given about this core information. I prefer people to learn the core information first and then form their own opinions. I mean, we can read everybody else's stuff, and that's why I tell the folks I work with, you may think you know what you've studied, but what you've been reading is like people's opinions. Get to the core group. Get up some archaeological books. Learn the history and the culture of the times. There is a really great program. It's free. It's called edX, small e, small d, capital X.com, I think it is. And it is it's a site that teaches courses on like every topic known to man for free, basically. You can get certificates and things if you want to pay for them. But they have won a course on the Sagas of the Icelanders, which is amazing and breaks it all down because it explains the time and the culture when they're written, why they're written, and it's a good foundation for people to learn their lore. Because everybody thinks the Vikings, they think the Viking Age, right? Which was literally like a 300 to 400 year time span period in all of our ancestors' histories. Like, we go way back before that.
Yeah.
They were merchants. They were travelers. They were amazing. People do a lot of things, not just berating, not berating. So they forget that. People forget that. So you look at the travel, just the boats they built, the engineering that took that is amazing. So our ancestors go way back beyond the Viking age, and they were way to that. And so studying these sagas and the old history and studying the culture, the times it was in, you get a much better understanding of what they believed and why. And so I tell people to do that instead of reading all these other books out there that are actually everybody else's opinions, and some are good, some are bad. It's all conjecture. Form your opinion based on what we have archaeologically and historically, what you can find. Make your own opinions before you start reading other people's. I mean, you may agree with them, that's fine. But I want people to have a knowledge base first, you know.
Oh yeah.
It's a reconstructionist faith, so we're reconstructing from what we know, and a lot of it is speculation and personal. There is so much people are taught or they think is the right thing that's really not historic at all. It's all personal conjecture. You know, it's central. Study your history. Study your history of the place that you're looking at. And it's such a broad spectrum. That's the thing with Asatru and heathenry. It is such a broad spectrum that you have your Norse pantheon, you know, your Norse mythology and stuff, and you have your Germanic tribes, and they all have an overall similarity, but there's a lot of cultural differences and beliefs depending on the region you're actually looking at or coming from. So study your history. That's the first thing. Study your history.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
Yes.
What got you started on that path?
Well, originally I'm honestly I am pretty much kind of half and half Irish and German. Honestly, I actually lived in Germany for 8 years in my youth growing up. But I actually started on my spiritual path with my Celtic side. That's where I focused at mostly. That came to me first a long, long time ago. And I am a Druidic priestess of Androy in my personal faith, which is Shanerhad. And then as I got into the prison ministry, I mean, I had studied the Germanic faiths and stuff growing up, but I was very focused on my Celtic side. That's where I was my spiritual practice with that. When I started doing this work inside the prisons, is when Odin actually came. He one time just came and said, you know, told me thank you, basically coming back from a visit, and I'm like, whoa, I ain't dealing with you. You ain't never running my altar for you. You just over there, you know. And we had this agreement about 9 years ago. He and I had this agreement that I keep serving his folk, and he won't let me get shot. And so far, it's working. I'm still here. I'd always studied over the years, and both actually. So yeah, but actually my draw to this side, I already studied the Germanic side, but more doing my work in the prisons and doing the work I started doing is when it really got. And I mean, I've studied theology for years, all kinds of paths. It's my interest.
I'm going to turn this down a little bit more.
Yeah, no, I've studied theology for many, many years. That's my interest. My degree is actually in cultural anthropology, but I was going to go on to get my master's in divinity for theology, but I ended up not. So I always say, if you want to learn about a culture and a people, you learn their religions. You understand why they do what they do. It's the best way to understand people. And you know, I have a quote that I've said forever. It's on our website that, you know, hate is based on fear and fear is based on ignorance. The only way to eradicate hate is to educate. So the more we know, the less we fear, the less we hate people. And you know. So that's why. And so now it's our biggest focus now has been in the recovery community and reentry. Well, we still do the work inside. I hold meetings online with folks inside several facilities around the nation. We send literature when we can. My stroke kind of delayed a lot of things, obviously. I got behind a lot of mail, but we're working on it. But we're really focusing hard on the reentry and recovery community for folks of our path, because that's, we need the help out here. There's a lot of people needing help out here.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
Well, see, Rowan Temple of Light was originally an idea. I wanted to build up to where I could have like a homestead and like a farm and have my library there, so we could have classes and people that were coming out and needing a place to get started could come there. I was going to have like little mini houses.
Yeah.
And so they could, work around there and, to get to work and stuff like that. And that was my dream. That's where all of this stuff started.
That is still mine. It is still mine. It may still happen. Who knows? I mean,
I can't let it go.
No,
I can't let it go. Like, it's money. Money's the only thing holding us up. Darn it.
That's a lot of it. No, when I started this, honestly, we started the ministry because April this year is going to be our ninth year. April tax day, April 15th, 2015 is when we started. It became legitimate. And I had actually the year before that, prior to that, or the season before that, there used to be a big convention out west called the PantheaCon, I think it was PantheaCon, yeah. Out in San Jose. And there was a big fight. This is like 2014 to 2015. There's a huge like online debate or fight between like Wiccans and other pagans, and talking about Wiccan privilege, and us recons didn't like it. I'm a Celtic recon, and didn't like, the word being called neo-pagan and whatever, blah. Big fight online, all kinds of fight. It was horribly nasty in the blogs, and I, like Jason Mankey called, the greater pagandom. Huge fights everywhere. And I kept thinking to myself, this is stupid. This is so stupid, because no one in the world cares. They think we're all a bunch of baby-eating, orgy-having idiots. They don't care what we say. And so I thought, the only way to show people is by what we do. And we don't have to believe the same things to go out and grow a neighborhood garden to feed our unhoused community, to go into prison. So I decided to build this pan-pagan ministry. And you have to understand, for many, many years as a Celtic recon, I was very, and I'll be the first to say, very anti-Wiccan. I used to blog publicly for years, very anti-Wiccan stance. My Wiccan counterpart, Minerva, Teresa Galloway, has made me swear an oath that I will not use the word fluffy bunny again in a derogatory term. And I haven't done it for many years. I was one of the key people shouting that term out everywhere. You better believe it. I was awful. So when I came to Wisteria, which is where like my home kind of base is, where a lot of our festivals at, Starwood's held there now. My first year there was my real experience out in like greater mixed eclectic pagan community. And I literally, let me tell you, my first festival there, my little brain, who didn't deal with eclecticism at all, almost burst. Like, it was insane. I didn't know what to do. Minerva's the one, meeting her and working together really broadened up my views on things. I was but I had decided at that time, we need to do something. And I decided to do this pan-pagan ministry, which was, and I thought, okay, so what am I going to do with this? And I meditated and did some journey work out there on the Ancestor Mound, and they came and said, go to prison. And I'm like, I really don't want to get locked up again. Thank you very kindly. I did it once. I want to do it again. And they're like, no, the nose will smack in the back of your head. Go to prison. And I was like, oh. So that's when I found Minerva. Said, hey, want to go hang out with a bunch of convicts with me inside? I was like, yeah, let's go. So That's how we started. And basically just to show that we don't have to believe the same to do good works together, because like I said, the outside world doesn't care what we say and argue about. They look at what we do, and I don't have to believe the same thing she believes to go work together and serve folks in our community that need our help, be it incarcerated, in recovery. You know, we're doing a street outreach out here now every other Sunday, passing out free meals and hygiene products and harm reduction supplies to all the unhoused people in Parkersburg. And they don't care if you're a Christian, they don't care. They just need the help.
Yeah.
You know, all that belief stuff goes away when you're actually helping somebody who needs actual help.
Oh yeah.
That's what we do. Yeah.
So I saw you're looking for something that you need. Would you like to tell us about that specific need for the community right now?
Oh, as far as the place, we got it. We got it.
Really?
You missed my post. I got it. We have our new meeting space. We're going to the public library every Wednesday, 6 to 7 in Parkersburg at the North End Library on Emerson. We will be there every Wednesday, 6 to 7, holding our Heilvegr meeting, which is our 9-step recovery program based on the 9 virtues, and open to the public if you're a practicing heathen. If you're not a heathen, you probably, I can find something else for you. Yeah, we got it. We got a place. We do have a wish list on our website and on our Facebook. I've been putting a wish list up for products for people if they want to help our outreach program. We've got harm reduction supplies in there, hygiene products on there, and stuff for our outreach program. Or you can send money. We take money. We have no problem taking money. We are a nonprofit. I will give you a receipt. Any over $250, I'll send you a receipt for your taxes.
and the PayPal is send us to prison.
Yeah, www.paypal.me/send us to prison. And the cash app.
I remember that one.
And the cash app is $ APM capital small TO capital PRISON, APM to prison.
Since 2020, when Central West Virginia Pagan Pride started, Appalachian Pagan Ministry has been our focus for charity. So we've been directing everything that way. So
thank you.
Just because we love you, we love the work that you do. You're eclectic. We're eclectic.
We have such a great, like this summer we'll be at summer solstice at Wisteria, holding recovery meetings. I do a workshop called 12 Steps Without the God Part, which explains all the and if you go on our website and click on the resources page, it lists the various quote step programs for various non-Abrahamic faiths on there. If you are, I think I have, there's the heathen ones, the Wiccan one, the Celtic 8 steps that I actually wrote years ago. There's Buddhist, I think Satanic. They just have a great program called Rational Recovery. There's all kinds we have listed on there. So if you're any of the non-Abrahamic paths, but I do a workshop on those. If you want me at your festival, let me know, or event. We'll see what we can do. We'll be at Solstice. We'll be at Starwood. Starwood, we're actually running the recovery booth tent. We have a recovery space for people who are at festival that need to get a break, whatever. And we do the meetings every morning, and I hold the workshops. We're doing that at Starwood. We'll be at Herb Fest out at Wisteria. We'll be at NERF, which is the Northern European Religion Festival, which is in Indiana in August. I think it's August 9th through 14th or 11th through 14th. It's just south of Bloomington, Indiana. It's at the Midian campground in Indiana. Earth Warriors, if we pick a location, we get a location, hopefully in September. And then back to Wisteria for Autumn Fires in October. And holding, and every booth that I have this year will have harm reduction supplies. We've got xylazine test strips, fentanyl test strips, Narcan, my theory is, we can't help anybody if they're dead.
Right.
Can't. I'm not, not encouraging use. I'm just saying, if you're going to use, please stay alive. And condoms, we always do that anyways. Pass out condoms.
Yeah.
There's just something. I've worked medical and festivals for so many years. We used to literally drive around festivals, especially music festivals, and throw out condoms and water. Here.
Well, there's a reason for that, because our festivals bring out that.
Especially fertility rituals everywhere. I will tell you, and this is something I cannot pronounce her names. I'm not even going to try and say it, but I'll have to look it up. Last Starwood, we had a lady, amazing woman who came from Guatemala, and she was a priestess, and she worked. There's these stingless honeybees in Guatemala. These Mayan stingless bees. It's like this, and they make the honey from them is considered like really like magical.
Wow.
And she does this healing ritual with this. It's a Mayan honey ritual, and they literally put it in your eye. You are to like it's to help release or whatever is holding you back, any kind of thing like that. I watched so many transformations going during this ritual myself, and I'll be the first to tell you. So we all know my son died in 2015 of fentanyl overdose, and for 8 years I was on Cymbalta for 8 years. I mean, because I had PTSD, I had rage, I like literally was attacking people. They had been for years, and I really, like, after the stroke, really thought I really need to do something about this. I need to, and I want to get off the Cymbalta, and so I did this ritual with her, and I will never forget. Right before my name was called to go up there, my son stepped forward and said, "Mom, don't you think it's time to stop being pissed at me?" And I went, "Yeah." I wasn't mad at the dealer, all of my rage. I was mad at him for 8 years, Did that ritual and released that. And I haven't been on Cymbalta since. Don't have the rage like I did. So it's amazing. And I got to find her name. But these watching this and these trauma, like we talked about trauma before, but we have so many in our community, so many come to these paths because of trauma, honestly. We're not talking just religious trauma. I mean, we have the whole people who got traumatized by their church, but I mean, in general,
everything.
Abrahamic faith just didn't have. I mean, it works for some. That's fine if that's your thing. But a lot of us that came to these other paths, many people we have in our community, many, many, many people are suffering with a lot, which is why addiction is so rampant. And so I think having the ability to still embrace our spirituality together with others in a safe environment and be able to step away and gain strength, because the whole point of like church and these NA meetings really is. I'm not putting the formula right. So growing up Southern Baptist, okay, the whole point of church on Sundays wasn't to go bond with God, okay? The point of church on Sundays was to strengthen yourself within your community of other Christians to go out and face the non-Christian world the rest of the week. Well, I think we need that for ourselves, no different.
Absolutely.
And that's why I like the Heilvegr fellowship we do. It's a great thing. Any of these pagan and recovery, there's a ton of pagan and recovery meetings, either the official pagan or any other ones that I think are strong. And so people in our go to these festivals that we go to commune with. A lot of times there's a lot of pressure for people, especially people who are in addiction. Having a space, and I've noticed that in our community, in our festival community, hugely, in the music festival community as well, that the whole there's been a big wave of people in recovery supporting each other and being able to go still enjoy and be a part of things and not feel the pressure they had before. It's a big movement for that. And all the festivals giving safe space for those people who need that. Because we give safe space for women, we give safe space for all kinds of stuff. We used to not think about people in recovery needing a safe space, and they do.
No. And most people didn't really take any type of mental health into consideration until recent years.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely. We had a big meeting actually Friday at the Smoot Theater in Parkersburg. There's a movie called The First Step Act, that how Van Jones went around getting the First Step Act passed for the federal prisoners years ago. And the Mid-Ohio Valley Reentry Council put it on. And there was a big town, we had group discussion for 2 hours and talking about how mental health is a huge priority these days. I mean, we just recently, currently, locally, had a young man who's 13 that suffering from mental health and being bullied at school, went home and shot himself. 13. Like, I can't even fathom, And so mental health is a huge issue.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't. And I think watching our community, I've been watching, it's been amazing to watch the progression of things, how and a lot of these festivals are really pushing for advocating for that. Like I said, people in recovery, people with mental health issues, and really pushing to provide support. And I think it's a great thing. I've been seeing a huge change. I know a lot of people are like, oh, things are so bad right now. Things can be a little daunting if you look at the outside world, but I also see a lot of the good going on.
Yeah.
I've been noticing people. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really trying. All right. So, are you ready to lead us?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right.
So, what do you do? Behold, the blood runs true. Our people walk again in the trough of our ancestors. We raise our voices to the gods of our folk, and we hear their answer in the depths of our soul. We hold out our hand to the whites of this land, and we feel kinship with the living earth. In the struggles of this life, we are never alone. We find strength and valor in our gods, love and wisdom in our goddesses, hope and pride in our ancestors, and faith and frith in our folk. We will carry our way forward, and we shall not fail. Bound by blood, guided by honor, united in purpose, we are one people. Hail the gods.
Hail the gods.
And hail you, Miss Lady Gwendolyn. You rock.
Hail you. I love you.
Good vote for me for Pagan of the Year.
Yes, you are a nominee. So, yes. So for those of you curious, go to our Rowan Temple of Light Facebook page, and there is an event there for the awards, and you will see all the nominees. You will see Donna there with her, you'll see her photo with her bio and what she's nominated for. So it is under the category of Pagan of the Year. Voting starts May 1st.
And everyone, I got to say, the nominees this year, not just me, I am phenomenal. The nominees there's a great bunch of folks, man. It's amazing.
For everything.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, I vote for 2 Tinkers for Store. I'm very biased. I know. I'm awful. All the stores are great, but I love 2 Tinkers.
They I know. They were nominated last year, and then this year they lost their brick and mortar, so they've kind of switched things around. But it's the Tinker sideshow now.
Yeah.
And they're like, I love it because it gives me like old pure vibes, like of merchants going from and I love it. Awesome. Like something for the community.
And they're such good people. They're so fun.
Yeah.
You're fun.
Yeah. So
well, thank you, my dear.
All right. Thank you for joining us. And I appreciate all your hard work that you do for this community. And like this comment right here, which I'm going to show, you are one of the most hardworking.
I love you, Ace. Don't tell his husband, but I've got a crush on him.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for the noon section of Pagan Day of Prayer. We'll be back at 3 p.m.
By the
Eastern
way,
Standard Time. What?
You are amazing, and we all are so honored to have you like lead all these things. You're awesome, Gwen. You're amazing.
You're gonna make me cry.
I love you, and you're a rock, man. You're awesome.
You. I don't hear anything like that, so it really means a lot to me.
Oh, you are like I'm not gonna look. There would not be a. I'm not saying there wouldn't be. We have a lot of people, and like Dottie's doing her stuff. It's amazing. You have been a foundational key point in this pagan community, especially in West Virginia. I don't mean just Central, all over. You are awesome. So thank you for all your work.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
No, I gotta wait a minute.
It's true. We love you very much.
I needed to hear that.
You know what? Maybe you work your butt off. Like people don't know. I watch. I don't say a lot. I watch a lot, but you're a rock. You're.
I just got a big mouth.
Well, we all do. It's a good thing I don't sing. And Ace, I know he's watching. Ace, he's another one who's been a huge foundation.
Oh my God! Yeah,
like I literally, y'all amaze me. Y'all do. Y'all.
I wouldn't be where I am without.
I can go around and do these little things I do on the side, but you guys are like forefront and focused and really getting the word out there to the greater masses, which is amazing. Honestly, I mean, it's. Again, showing people that we're not a bunch of baby eating orgy well, maybe some, but not all predominantly orgy having, crazy people.
Yeah.
It's the thing you make. And so I really appreciate all the work y'all do. Everything.
Thank you. All right. Now that I can focus.
I love it.
Anybody, we're still accepting prayer requests. We'll finish them up tonight at the 9 p.m. during the closing. So the candle is lit. The list of prayer requests is underneath of it on the altar right now. But we will be back at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Lord Martin of Rowan Temple of Light. He will be going over Vulcan magic and prayers. So, all right. So thank you guys very much. Love you, and we will see you then. Bye.